You know, I wish I had with me right now one of those fancy little straw wicker hats, whatever they do, that you usually see in movies or people with elections and stuff in the old times. And they usually have like the bullhorn thing, they speak into it. As Goes something like this. Everybody, attention, attention! Come step right up. You too can be an American hero. If you can eat hot dogs, you can be an American hero. Yes, you. Can you eat hot dogs? Can you eat a whole bunch of hot dogs? You can be an American hero. Doesn't sound right, does it? Let me just tell you where I'm getting at. I was watching TV yesterday with my wife because couldn't go out and have fun and stuff. Did some smoke bombs and stuff outside, but when I'm in my wheelchair. But basically, so she was turning the channels, and we noticed that the hot dog eating championship was on. And yeah, the American guy Joey Chestnut beat Kobayashi, and after he's won so many years and everything, and it's this. At the end of it, he's a champion. He got the yellow mustard belt. It's cool, whatever. And that's not even my. I have two big beefs about that. One thing is, at the end of it, the guy said, "This man is an American hero. He's a hero for America." Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but what does that say for people who die for us? What does that say for a person who saves someone's life? Who puts their own life on the line? Who actually dies saving people? Do you want to compare somebody who pulled people from 9/11 or went inside to find people and then died themselves to a man who can stuff himself with 63 hot dogs? That's the thing that I think is that the word hero gets thrown around too loosely. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm sorry if you feel that I'm wrong about this, but I even disagree with the whole sports hero thing. Yes, you won the game. You were the guy that did the thing. You were, they already have the words MVP, most valuable player. They already have the champion, the state champion. The Heisman Trophy, all that stuff. But then you get called a hero. Now, if a ball was coming at a guy and going to aim for his head, and you got in the way and hit you in the shoulder and you saved the guy, yeah, you were a hero. He could have died. If a missile was landing and you saw it coming from a mile away and everybody else didn't, so you tell them, "Get out of the way, run, run, run." Yes, you're a hero. If you crack the ball and hit a home run and win the World Series, you're a champion, not a hero. If you take a left turn in a race a couple hundred times and then you win it, you're a champion. You won the cup. Congratulations. You're not a hero. I'm sorry. Now, if you save someone from a burning fire, if you save a child stuck under a car that's being crushed, a man who could, stories before adrenaline rush and they lift up the trucks over their heads. Not, like right up here, there's a whole little child underneath of it, and their adrenaline rushes, and then they get the child out and boom, puts it down. How did he do that? Because he had the adrenaline rush in him, and miraculously, in my opinion, he had faith with him, and he saved the child because he was a hero. Nurses, women who saved the soldiers' lives and stuff, those were heroes because they put their lives on the line. Back, the Civil War and stuff like that. Nowadays, you go over there and they go to other countries. My wife went to school with two people who were in a couple, and they were in the war, and the woman every day had to drive her truck and worry for a little kid or somebody who's going to come over and blow them up. Okay? But a guy on TV stuffs his face for 10-some minutes with 63 hot dogs, and he's America's hero. He's America's hero. Yes, he brought the belt back to America. But people can also say, well, Kobayashi had a messed up jaw, so, technically he probably would have beat him anyways. But, it's a competition. It's not a hero thing. So, And then another thing that gets to me. I'm not too much into this stuff. Every time I watch, every year, we catch it like at the end of it or whatever, and it'll start talking about the people who play and do the competition. And it says like this guy did the matzo balls, and this guy ate like a couple pounds of bologna, and this guy did this, and this woman right here can stuff down like 10 burgers down there in like 2 minutes. So that means that this thing is like worldwide, going all around and everything, and competition's held all the time. But you constantly hear about people being homeless, people starving. Now, I read something earlier about a man, I believe his name is Eric Booker. He's a really heavy fella, African-American fella who was started in 1997, as I read. And I was talking about Kobayashi premiering in 2001, but he said when he started in 2007, or 1997, I'm sorry, that he went for his first competition. He's a big fella, and his only reason for going to competition was because he heard you get a year's supply of free hot dogs. And he wanted the free hot dogs. There was another guy in the competition, I forget his name, they didn't say his name really, and who was bigger than him. And the man said, intimidated him because he was new, He said, how many competitions have you been in? He's like, none. And he was like, well, you should get out of here. He said, how much have you eaten before? And he's like, well, I've never really done anything before. He said, well, I did 30 Whoppers in 2 hours. Now, do you know how big those Whopper sandwiches are? Whenever my wife would get one or whatever, that'd be a meal. Now, if you take those 30 Whoppers, that could feed 15 adults and 30 children. That could feed 30 people, adults and stuff. But they waste them away in a competition. Now, I think it's kind of funny sometimes when they have like hot pepper, things like that, some crazy stuff, when you sit there and you're eating those jalapenos and going nuts and knowing something, and you're just, faces all burning red, blah, 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 blow the fire and stuff. But to have competitions, and then every year there's commercials about children dying and starving, and you see their bones and stuff, and then you turn on ESPN, and you see the guys shoving matzo balls up in their mouths, or hot dogs in the buns, and and I know, you're probably thinking, oh, the fat guy saying this stuff, and I'm against it, I'm against this whole thing. I'm not even going the religion thing about gluttony. I'm just saying it's kind of like it's a big contradiction, because you say we're starving, the kids need help, other countries need help and everything, but let's have a competition to see who can win the yellow mustard belt. So right now, I'm going to do the healthy way and make myself an American hero a healthy way. Let's see what we got here. I got all bran, garlic, herb crackers from Kellogg's, bite size. It says right here, a snack you can feel good about. Well, I'm going to make myself an American hero right now. That'll make me feel good. Dun, 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 dun. Look, I got 2 little pieces of crackers. Think I can do it? I did it! I'm an American hero! I'm an American hero! Where's my green belt? Don't I get an herb belt? They give out mustard belt. Where's my herb belt? I don't get no belt. Come on. Piece of hot dog. I don't get my herb belt. I ate the crackers. I don't get to become an American hero yet. I don't know, guys. The world's a pretty scary place right now. I don't know, kind of dry. God bless.